Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to another edition of Kingly Conversations, man. And we got another hot one for you today. But before we get into all of that, you already know Zoe's got a shout out.
Yeah, I actually do have a shout out, man. I want to give a shout out to people in California out there struggling through that fire, man. I hope y'all all are well. I hope everybody is getting through it, and yeah, you're in the prayers.
All right, so today we're talking about so you failed, huh? So strap in. Let the Kings talk about it. All right, good people, and welcome back to another edition of Kingly Conversations, man. And as I am every single week, you already know who it is, man. It's Alan.
What up? It's your boy Twine, aka Twine. Ask me about my podcast. Yes, let's go.
It's your friend, your mentor, Calvin D. Hill.
I'm up now, y'all. I had me a cup of coffee. I'm up. I was a little sleepy on the last one, but I'm here. Let's go.
We here now.
With that being said, first of all, let's go ahead and get the formalities. You know, how y'all doing? Y'all feeling good?
Mm-hmm.
Feeling great?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, check on your peoples, man. If you got peoples out in California, check on your peoples. Make sure they're good because they're going through some things out there, and you're in the prayers. That's all I got for that. So, what's today's topic, Calvin?
Y'all wanted this one. So today's topic is so you failed, huh? All right. So
No.
this was this now. No.
You
Let me
say
let
it
me first.
again, bro.
No,
Take it
no.
back. Let's take it back.
So
You
you
gotta say it the
failed.
right way.
No, and
You
I
gotta
ain't
say it the
doing it
right
like
way.
juvenile. I ain't doing it like juvenile.
So you failed, huh?
All right, go ahead, man. I'm just picking. Go ahead.
So you failed. This all right. So this is part self evaluation, part inspirational talk, and part I'm sick of this. All right. So
Okay.
y'all gotta kind of take
Take
it as it
notes.
comes.
Yeah.
So no, all right.
Understood.
So what happened at the end of the year? You know how everybody get that new year, new me energy. So I always
True.
do a self evaluation and look at the team and look at different things that got going on. And during a meeting, talking to an individual, and they quit. All right, they quit because they failed. You didn't meet your goals, you didn't meet in your standards, and things not going your way. You failed. My thing is, if every time you fail at something, you quit, I do not want you on my team this year. Not going to 25, and I'm sick of it. This is why. All right, so back when I was coaching youth basketball, I had a team. I had two teams. I had a phenomenal team, and I had an absolute. I ain't gonna. These kids couldn't play. They just can't. It is what it is, man. They can't play, and so I would talk to the parents, and I already knew up front. I said, "All right, I need y'all to pay attention to your kids. Pay attention to your kids in these moments because y'all about to get drugged up and down these courts for a while. The kids that have some grit and grind about them and they start crying, I need you to tell me who they are. But the kids that just say, oh, well, and give up, I need you to point those out and don't sign them up for basketball again." Real talk. I told them just like that. And they everybody kind of looking at me like, what are you talking about? 2 games in, these kids getting drugged 64-2. Not exaggerating. 64-2. You got kids on the bench crying, scared to get in the game. Because the kids they were playing from the hood, they slapping the floor. You know how kids get it. In their face, all amped up, ready to go. And I'm loving it. I'm like, they got that dog. See, that's the thing. They got that dog, right? So you got 2 kids on the team. They trying to get back at them. They still getting drugged. They still getting double teamed, but they still fighting. They still trying to get after it. You got kids on the bench crying.
So they crying for what reasons?
Because they scared.
Because the other team is being intimidating.
Yeah,
okay, I got you.
But that moment brought me back to that when the person quit, because you don't have that dog in you. You don't have what it takes internally to get out there and fight and make happen. You giving up and quitting on you quitting on things you haven't put the work in. You looking for a reward that you didn't put the work in for. On fear alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that bothers me. And I'm so over that. And that's where that came from, because it was like, oh, you failed. You didn't meet a goal. Put it back up there. Put the goal back up there and go after it again and figure out what you're doing wrong, or figure out what you need to change, because you're failing, but you're not putting the energy in you need to succeed. You're not making any adjustments. You're not changing you unavailable. You're not, what you doing? You complaining, but you ain't doing nothing.
Mm. Yeah, I see that a lot.
So, yeah. And then you lazy, you're not putting in the effort, and so you wondering why you're not seeing this level of success in your life. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm accomplishing this. Okay, but then you're not challenging yourself. A lot of people don't challenge themselves out of the comfort zone. So it's like, as long as you winning in this arena in life, you won't put an effort in that arena in life. So you quit and you stay in that pocket. You stay in your safe place. That's fine. That's where that started from. And then that conversation kind of went into,
oh Lord,
were you lazy?
I'm sorry, say what?
Were you lazy?
Were you lazy as a coach, or was the kids lazy as a team? What are we talking about? I'm confused.
But
I know.
But this was in the meeting. I was using the story of the basketball to tell you that moment. I brought it back to that meeting, because that's what that was for me. A lot of people have excuses because they're scared.
For sure.
They're just scared. I can't do this. I don't want to. I should. How, Sway?
Is that how? It's for young kids. How is that something that's taught? Like, why?
No, I think, but I think it's
broke.
No, I think some of it is conditional. I think some of it is environment, what you've seen. Some of it, not all of it. Some of it is internal. Like, some kids haven't been encouraged enough, or felt like they can. Then this with kids, and it goes on into adulthood. Some people aren't encouraged or pushed to achieve, and achievement is uncomfortable at certain levels.
For some people, that is true. Yeah. In different
I
levels,
haven't seen. Yeah, I haven't seen extreme success without extreme discomfort. So it just depends on the level of what you can push through.
Pretty much.
But then that's where that in my evaluation in this meeting, the person was lazy.
Well, I think what you can push through depends on what you like. What did they want? Do you know what they wanted? Like,
okay, I know exactly what they wanted. I know what the goals are.
But did they actually want that?
But that's the problem. You tell me this your goal. You tell me, Alan, you say, hey, Calvin, I want XYZ. I want $10,000. Okay. How you gonna get it, Alan? I want 10,000. What am I gonna do to get it? You tell me you don't have time to get the $10,000.
Oh, well, you don't want it then. Then that's not something you want. If you
what I'm hearing,
if you say you want it, but I don't have time to get it, I don't want it. Because if you wanted it, you make the time to get it.
You want it, but
figure
you're too
it
lazy.
out. So yes, yes. You was lazy, huh?
You were lazy, huh? So you were lazy.
Your thinking won't critical, huh? Yeah.
I mean, it's either that or don't set or don't set that as your goal. If you know you don't have time, then don't say that's your goal.
Okay. So now what's the problem? I'm the problem. Listen, I'm the problem.
You always listen, as the leader of the organization, you always the problem. You know that. Even if you not.
But see, and this is what bothers me. This is what bothers me. It don't bother me. I've learned. I've learned.
Just that fast. Just that fast. Okay.
Yeah, it
you know what? It don't even bother
me.
I learned.
Nope.
I learned. I learned.
Nope.
I'm about learning.
Not on duty.
You keep telling yourself that. It still bothers
you. I'm convincing myself. I learned the lesson.
Okay.
And we'll get into that in the Hell's Kitchen. But yeah. And then I use the excuses. So like when my kids come up to me and I tell them to do something, I ask them why they didn't do it or whatever, and they'll start making an excuse. And I use a quote that I heard someone else say, and I'm about to butcher it, but the excuses are the monuments of nothing.
Oh yeah.
No, excuses are the tools of the incompetent, used to build monuments of nothing, to celebrate. What was it? To celebrate or commemorate emptiness or something like that. Yeah, it was a good quote, but it was basically like you making excuses for nothing.
Its excuses are tools of incompetence used to build bridges to nowhere and monuments of nothingness.
Yeah,
and those that use them seldom specialize in anything else.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. I'm sitting there like, woo, mama. And the people that are full of excuses don't have patience now.
I have a question.
You got an answer.
So we talked about the athletes that you had in your organization, and now we're saying that they're making a lot of excuses. Are the parents like? Do we look at the parents as far as why the child's that way?
Not all the time. Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Sometimes you got to put things on individual levels. You can't always blame a parent for everything. Because some parents try to push their kids. Some parents try to encourage their kids.
Right.
Got it. So they fighting the battle uphill, basically. Yeah, they're pushing, they're trying to encourage them, but the child is still okay.
Yeah, but that's why I told them, those parents, because I told them pay attention to who's responding, how the child is responding, because that'll tell you what you're working with. Don't force yourself.
Yeah. But as an organization, though, like for the youth, should you not just take it as is? Like if the child you're trying to develop teamwork with a child and all other good stuff, like you don't take that into a factor when dealing with the attitudes
do, but
of
at the same time, you do, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you can teach them how not to make excuses, give them the tools to use to actually take accountability and ownership for what the results are. Okay, so every now and again, though, you don't fight the child. You use, like, take the child for who they are. Okay, and sometimes they just aren't that good at this thing. Okay, so we try to find the environments where they are so we can encourage us, build our confidence and self-esteem up. Because some issues is, I am naturally not good at this. Basketball, okay? Some kids are not coordinated to play basketball. So you don't keep forcing the kid to keep doing that. You put them in an environment, okay, where this kid can draw. Okay, well, let's encourage that because they're good at that until their self-esteem and their confidence is increased to the point to where they feel like they can go meet the next challenge and they have the desire to put the work into. That go with most people in general. And most people, it's sad to say, I feel like a lot of people are forced into workspaces that they're actually not good at. It doesn't complement their niche, like who they are.
Gotcha. All right. So me being a very straightforward guy and try to keep it simple, if you trash, get off my court, go find something else to do before you come up in here.
Absolutely.
Okay, gotcha.
It's nothing wrong. Right. It's nothing wrong with saying that.
Hey, you need to go try some finger painting first. Get your confidence up.
I mean, no, really, because it damages people to constantly hear you're not good at something so much, and it spills over into other areas
crippling.
of life.
Yeah, I can see how that might be crippling to a young person who think they Michael Jordan or think they Steph Curry. And
now that's a different situation. Different. You got those ones that think they all that and good, okay,
and they're not,
But
So
then
how do you
have
coach an uncoachable person?
No, I don't coach uncoachable. I don't do that. I get you to see your results.
Do you like your results?
Hey, look, no, joke. Do it. So you find a kid that's overly confident like that, right? They think they carry, okay? I said, great. I'm glad. Here you go. You shoot threes, make 5 out of 10 over there behind the 3-point line, and do your little move too. Step back.
Everybody got to do step back.
Everybody got to do the step back now. That's the thing.
Off balance shots.
Yeah, quick. Yeah, yeah. They love it. I love it. I be like, yeah, come on, you can do it. You can do it. All right,
Where
10. Just make 5. Just make 5. They do it, and they keep doing it, and they might make 1.
They might make 1.
They might make 1. And I'd be like, oh, you don't try it again. Try it again. You got it. They do it again, and it get worse. And I'm like, oh, you got it. You come on, Karen, get it. And they do it again. Guess what? Keep doing it.
Well, I guess that's part of practice, right?
No. This ain't practice, because this is dealing with your self-esteem and doing things right. Because after a while, they get tired. And I say, oh, you tired? We're gonna keep doing the same thing until you get 5 in a row.
I don't want to do that no more.
I don't want to do that no more. I'm like, oh, why? You don't like your results?
Oh, God.
I thought you would care, but you don't want to put the work in.
Hey, yo. Like, anybody can get it out here in these streets.
hey, but that's the most effective
you
way.
know how I do.
It works. It works, because then they say, okay, well, how do I do that? I said, all right, we'll stand right here and use technique and actually try to shoot and see if you can make 5.
But
congratulations.
Shouldn't you tell that same kid, hey, you ain't got it. Get out of here. Go do something else. And then go finger paint, and then come back when you got some.
No, I'm not gonna tell you that.
Humbleness. Okay.
No, I'm gonna encourage you. I'm gonna take that energy, because you're gonna need that energy when it get real hard. You're gonna need that confidence later on, because you're gonna meet the kid down the street that's that dog that's putting in that work.
Yep.
And they're gonna embarrass you, and then you're gonna fall back on.
Gotcha. So I'm going over your notes, and we've actually we actually checked off a few mentally. What about nobody cares about you? What is that about?
Nobody cares about you.
What's going on? What's happening?
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So you feel, huh? Let me tell you something. Everybody's selfish. I don't care what nobody says. Everybody's selfish. Okay. Everybody has their own ideas, own thoughts, and they're thinking about themselves first. They're actually not thinking about you. So
self-preservation, okay.
Well, that's what most people.
I understand.
Especially when you're dealing with kids, and a lot of kids feel like everybody's judging them. Everybody's looking at them.
They are.
And it's not true. Nobody really cares about you.
That is true.
It's
all in the head.
It's sometimes really.
Hey, I find adults be on that same stuff.
Yeah. And I was talking to a young man, and I told him, I said, you'll notice, and it's a sad thing, but it's very true. At a certain point in your adolescent years, people really stop caring about you and stop paying attention to you. So the younger you are, you need to go and try to achieve more while you're young, because as you get older, people start pushing you to the side. They really stop paying attention to you unless you're really making a major move. And for most, I hate to generalize this, but for a lot of young men who are ambitious, they do get pushed to the side, and people don't care about them once they hit 17, 18, and they kind of thrown into that adult category.
All right, go be a man.
Yeah. And they don't care. People, generally speaking,
right,
people don't really care about what they're doing and what they're trying to achieve. But if you get an 8-year-old, 8, 12, 13, 14, and you hear they trying to do this, or people jump in right behind them. Yeah, come on, you can do it. Let me help you. Yeah.
let's bake these cookies together.
Yeah. They jump in with you. No, real. It's sad but true.
Yeah, I get it. But something that you mentioned earlier made me think about when children in that, adolescence, they don't have that support. So, and some are like mentally abused to the point where they don't see anything happening outside of the immediate world that's been groomed around them. So now they think, going out and doing something on my own. What do you mean? They get crushed right before. I mean, before they even leave the gate, they getting crushed. So that takes me back to the time when I was being raised. I didn't get those encouraging moments. Most of them joints are like, you ain't gonna be nothing when you grow up, basically. And then I had to break out of that when I left the environment. I was like, you know what? I mean, this is even at a later age, but I would say within the last 10 years or so, I had to like break my mentality and unlearn everything that was taught to me, because everything was negative. Like, you're not going to be this, you're not going to do that. Like, why would you even want to be that? What you want to be when you grow up? I mean, you say something and it's like, yo, that's stupid type joint. So there's a lot of people out there or young people in that time frame with age or whatever that has that blockage internally from their supposed resources or the people who's supposed to be helping them. So it can go. There's a lot of different levels to it, because you got the kids that want to do something but they can't, and then you got the ones that they just don't care.
Yeah. But at the same time, you can turn that and use it as a positive, because when you do fail, people aren't looking at you like you think they are. People aren't making a big deal about your failures. It's you that are making a big deal about your failures.
I just went off on a tangent, but the main point I was trying to make is, like, nobody cares about you. Like, some people are taught to be aware of the approval for somebody, like, the approval from the parents or stuff. So so some are taught that at a young age, and then they get older, and now they worried about what Joe Schmo over there doing. Oh, they're looking at me, or they're judging me, not knowing that nobody cares, bruh.
Yeah.
So I rock with it. You raggedy
No, not that. Not yet.
You raggedy bald headed. Huh?
No, not yet.
Let's talk about
bald-headed demon.
Not yet.
That's the last one.
Not yet. No, because you're broke, but because you're broke.
Oh, okay.
You just checked it off, and
I'll try to get straight to it.
No.
You're broke because you're broke.
I'm in the meeting, and during the meeting, you have we have like a financial report that we have to do, and budget planning and all the other stuff, right? So there's a couple of things that triggered this one that led me into this, and I started applying this one maybe in the middle of last year, and it was the way you do anything is the way you do everything. That one hit home for me, because it made me really do a lot of self-evaluation. And then I began to notice how that is somewhat true. How you do anything is how you do everything. And what it's talking about is the attitude and your discipline towards a thing. And so when you have an excellent, or you want to do things with excellence, or with a very high level, you apply that to whatever you're doing. So if you're not doing something, it's actually like you're not even touching it. You're not even worried about it. But whatever you are doing, you're applying with the excellent spirit, the excellent attitude. You're trying to do the best you can. If you have that attitude, if you have a very lackadaisical attitude towards something, you have a lackadaisical attitude towards everything. So, all right. So anyway, I was talking to the person going through the financial budget, and what I noticed is the way they were handling the finances there was the same way they was handling their personal finances. That's an issue. Right. Because
But what if they're good with it?
If you're good at it. if you're good at it, it's not an issue.
Go ahead, man.
It's not an issue.
I got you. But if they're bad at it, let's move on.
If you're bad at it,
since you're not good at it,
it's an issue. It's a problem. So
okay. All right.
But I have discovered that your finances is really attached to a lot of emotional and deep subconscious issues that people have. And I didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
The way they spend money is really tied and connected to something internal. Didn't know that, learned that, discovered that. And I again tell you how to take self-evaluation, get some insight on yourself about that one. And so they were saying in the meeting they didn't have any money in the department. They didn't have any finances. They were broke.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I'm listening.
A little bothered by that. I'm a little bothered by that.
Oh God!
And I said, well, are you broke?
Ooh.
Yes. Yes, I'm yes.
That was the answer. That was the answer.
Oh, they said that with just no emotion tied to it.
I'm broke.
Hey, some people okay. You know, they and
it's more to that. It's a lot more to that. It's a lot more to that. But
give me a short version.
Nope, I can't. It was very enlightening for me though, because I had to really put a pause on some stuff and say, all right.
You had to
that's not going
reconfigure some
work.
things.
And once you find out, when you start confronting people, especially with finances and stuff like that, you find out a lot. And found out the person was broke internally.
No, see.
Internally broken.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
And I just discovered it through financially broken. So, yeah.
Double homicide.
Oh man, stop. No, but it was real, and it was rough because all right, so and it snowballed. It really snowballed. This taught me a valuable lesson, and that's why we're getting to Hell's Kitchen next. It really put me into it threw me into a frenzy, because if you got 5 people sick around you, guess what? More than likely, you about to be the 6th.
Yep. For sure.
5 people around you got a cold, and you hanging around those 5 people. Guess what? You number 6.
Chances
and in this situation, when you have financially broken area, you're gonna have to pull and dump into that area to refix it, and it pulls other areas down. So, without going into all those details, that's very frustrating for me. And I'm not doing that. I'm not throwing up threes thinking I'm gonna make all of them. I'm not just shooting the ball for nothing. I'm gonna go back to check the results, and if I don't like my results, we're gonna change something.
Got it. Okay.
So that led to the comment, "You raggedy, bald-headed demon." You say something before the problem hits. Don't let me discover it. Don't be be accountable. Take ownership. Don't I couldn't no.
So they should be able to. They should communicate that. And so how are they able to communicate something when they're broken and they don't know that they're broken?
But that's how you find out they're broken, because I didn't know they were broken like that.
Got it. Because you mentioned that, don't wait until let me know ahead of, like, I don't want to say ahead of time, but let me know before it gets to a bad point.
Right.
Basically.
Right.
So but then it goes back to what you were saying. I'm just tying this all together. So that goes back to what you're saying, like, yo, how do you know how they supposed to know it's messed up when that's what they're used to? So for them, that's normal.
Right, because you're broke.
Yes. And in more ways than one, yes.
Yeah, right. You're broke.
Okay. So how do you deal with that? Do you put them? Do you sit them down? Do you sit them down?
Which one? Which one you want? Who you want right now? Who you want right now?
Which one you
want? Because in some realms there is a way you got to make a command decision and remove the person.
Got it.
Because that's a problem. Again, you can't.
Well, if it's a problem, like some people work through the problems, and some people is like, no, it's not going to work.
Some do, and then like in your workplaces, they have corrective actions, IPKs, KPIs, and stuff like that they use to evaluate things, and then they make adjustments, and then retrain people and stuff like that. You do go through this whole process. My slight issue is a little different because if you have someone in the lead role that creates the process, that's different. You have someone that is supposed to be setting the example for things, that's different. To me. I'm just leave it like that.
Just your level of comfort when it comes to rectifying issues. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, it just depends on how you. Yeah,
you can be completely open and honest, or you can save people emotions. Either way, as long as you love the results, and as long as you like the results.
Let's end that one right there because now we're going in the hell kitchen.
All right, let's do it. Hey, thank y'all for listening. Appreciate you. Alan, you got any closing thoughts?
I'm
gonna get straight to it, man. What the music at?
See that? I didn't have the music up. Jeez,
you gotta be quicker than that.
Tripping, bro.
So I know Calvin ain't got no closing thoughts because he's ready for the next round. So I want to get straight to it because the iron is still hot. Thank y'all for listening. We appreciate you. We love you. See you next time.
You raggedy bald-headed demon.
That's it.
Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever.